What were the main debates about Renaissance free will? If you're curious about the Renaissance and how people back then thought about free will, you're in the right place. Let's explore the fascinating debates that took place during this time. During the Renaissance, philosophers, humanists, and scholars were deeply interested in understanding human freedom and its limitations. One of the central questions was whether human choice is governed by reason, passions, or divine grace. This debate was not just theoretical, it had practical implications for how people understood moral responsibility and the role of God in human life. Thinkers like William Shakespeare, John Donne, Thomas Hobbes, and John Milton contributed to these discussions through their literary and philosophical works. For instance, the concept of free will was often pitted against the idea of determinism, which suggested that human actions are predetermined by factors such as the stars or God's will. Renaissance humanists and scholastic philosophers reacted against fatalist notions that suggested human life was controlled by external forces like astrology. They sought to clarify how human free will could coexist with the divine government of the world. This led to intense debates about the scope of human freedom and whether it was compatible with divine providence or astrological determinism. The discussions also focused on the conditions for moral responsibility and the reasons behind human actions. Philosophers examined whether human actions were driven by reason or emotions and how these factors influenced moral choices. The project to understand these debates aimed to clarify the background to Renaissance conceptions of free choice, fate, and determinism, and to determine their roles in natural philosophy and moral psychology. Another key aspect was the distinction between moral and religious goals versus scientific and secular ones. There was an alleged divide between these two sets of goals, and philosophers sought to understand how developments in early modern philosophy affected these debates. For example, Pico della Mirandola's Oratio de Hominis Dignitate celebrated human potential, but this view was not universally accepted. Many Renaissance thinkers believed that human self-determination was quite limited, contrary to the popular notion of the Renaissance as an age of unbridled human potential. In summary, the main debates about Renaissance free will revolved around the compatibility of human freedom with divine providence, the role of reason and emotions in human actions, and the distinction between moral and scientific goals. These discussions were complex and multifaceted, reflecting the diverse perspectives of the time.